Hey folks, Matt from artoftheimage.com. Got the G7X here. Not the Mark II, which I just recently reviewed. You can look at the old video, or the recent video, not the old video. This is the original. This is the Mark I, I guess you would call it. The reason I got this in is I want to see, I should have probably got them in side by side, and maybe I will, but I wanted to see how the original G7X was after having shot the G7X Mark II. Because basically, there's one big reason why you might still consider the G7X is price. You can get these for around $500 if you shop around, whereas the newer ones, $650 to $700, and we're talking US dollars here. It's even more than that in Canada and other parts of the world. So I wanted to see if there's enough difference between this one, the first one, and the new G7X Mark II that I just reviewed to see if it was worth warranting the additional money. Basically, for me, the big thing, there's a lot of improvements on the Mark II, but the big thing that I'm curious about is this is basically going to be a video camera for me, a vlogging type camera. So I want to see how the follow focus is, that, you know, as close as it can get to Canon's dual pixel AF like my 70D has. I want to see how good this is in comparison to the G7X Mark II. Because if the Mark II and this are very similar in that regard, then I probably don't want to pay the additional for the Mark II. Now, if this is nowhere near as good as the Mark II, or not close to as good as the Mark II is, then that combined with all the additional features will push me towards buying the Mark II. So that's what I want to do. Let's get the box open. As you can see, I've got the battery already charged. Took the charger out. These take the NB13Ls. I think it's the 13L. Yes, 13Ls. Same as the Mark II. So if you had a Mark I and you wanted to upgrade for some reason, all your spare batteries are going to fit. You got to be careful. A lot of the batteries aren't chipped. I know the one I had in with the Mark II, I think it was the Watson battery. It's not chipped in the sense that it doesn't do a very good readout. The camera asks you, you know, you're not using an OEM battery. Are you okay? It might damage your camera, blah, blah, blah. And mostly, I don't even care about that, although it's annoying that you have to hit okay, but also it doesn't read the battery life. So most of the batteries I use are chipped. I have to find out if the Wasabi batteries are chipped. Anyways, let's get this out of the box. I got it in from B&H for review. Thank you very much to B&H. Wonderful folks. Check them out at the link below. Check out this at the link below and see what their best pricing is and the Q&As. Warranty, manual, and something from Canon about 100 or 10 free gigabytes of online photo album storage or something there. And let's see here. This was the little baggie that the battery came in before I put it in the charger. We've got a little strap. It looks like it's just a wrist strap for the camera. And what else was in this little doohickey here? On the side of the box is the I guess that was just the charger and another little piece of paperwork. I don't know if that was another warranty piece or what that was. So the main event here in this little plastic shell, and then this this is an interesting feeling. It's like a silky type thing limed with like a styrofoam type inner. So, the other thing that's different on this than the G7X Mark II, and I just noticed it, is there's no grip on here. So that's another advantage to the Mark II. Although grabbing this, it's this is metal right here, and it feels fine in the hand. I could see maybe if your hands were slippery or oily or something like that, wet maybe, you might want that grip. I was wondering what it was going to be like without the grip. Doesn't feel bad at all. So essentially, you know, aesthetically the same camera. Flip up screen. We've got the 24 to 120 lens, and it is a 1.8 to 2.8, so it's a very fast lens. This has the 1-inch sensor in it, 20 megapixels. All those things are the same. The Mark II is basically just some refinements. It's got a newer processor, I believe. It shoots a little faster for JPEG, things like that. But this feels very much like the Mark II and looks very much like the Mark II. It just doesn't have that little thumb finger rest on the front. It takes the battery in the exact same position there. So you put your battery in down below, as well as your memory card in there. I'm gonna have to dig out one of my memory cards for this camera. So I'm always reviewing so many cameras. It's good to have an extra supply of memory cards, so I just have to figure out which one's gonna go in here. Probably one of my Samsung Evo cards. I'll put a link below for those two because they're a great deal. Anyways, that's the camera. So when we turn it on, you could see, it's wanting me to set it up, but you could see that that's why that makes a good vlogging camera, because you could see yourself. And it also being 24 wide, the equivalent of a 35mm 24 on the wide end, lets you see yourself. It's wide enough that it's going to get you in the photo. You know, Casey Neistat uses these. Roman Atwood, lots of other vloggers. I think the Shay Carl uses these. Great little camera, really good image quality. You know, arguably, people are saying, I've heard now, I think it was Kirk Tuck from the Visual Science Lab, I think even Michael Johnston at the Online Photographer, a lot of people are making the argument that the 1-inch sensor now is the more modern day version of what used to be APS-C. Like, things have just moved along so much farther in advancements. I mean, APS-C is as good or better than our early full frames. Better, actually. 1-inch now is better than some of our early APS-C. Much better. So anyways, look how small this is. That's what I love about these. Very pocketable. And I've showed you, check out the last video a couple back where we had the best cases for these, because these are very small. You put it in your pocket, very small in your hand. And I got those little cases. I had the two good cases, a Pelican, and I think one was a Case Logic or something that goes on your belt. So really easy to carry. Casey Neistat style. So for me, the big thing I want to find out between this and the Mark II is how it does for continuous focus during video. I want to make sure that it's not a lot worse than the Mark II, because then if it's not, I probably will buy one of these. But is there anything else you guys would like to know about the differences between this, the Mark I, and the newer Mark II that I just reviewed? Let me know. Leave your comments in the comments below. If you've owned both of them and you have already had some experience and some feedback, let us know that in the comments below. Let us know what your feelings are on what the advantages of the Mark II are or aren't. And we'll discuss it. Thanks for tuning in, folks. Stay tuned. We'll be back with more on this and lots of other photo, video, news, goodness here at artoftheimage.com. Thanks.